So you want to create a limited area that keeps your players either inside or outside of something. We're going to refer to that as a play area, and we do that with invisible walls. Let's see how we do it. So there's actually multiple ways we can achieve this. We are going to talk about really two variations of the same method. The first way I think most people would figure out, and sorry about my voice, it might crack or pop a little bit, I'm sick. But anyways, back on topic here. So the first way most people will generally try, and there's nothing wrong with this, is taking a object like this. Let's just take this wall. Doesn't matter what kind of cube or whatever you use. There's nothing special about this. Just a random cube. And now let's actually put it on the inside so we can see a bit better. Okay. And we're just gonna hit R to scale and just make this bigger and a little taller. And we're gonna hit W and just kind of line it up. There we go. Okay, so we want to make sure, let's type in collision, and we're making sure we have this wall still collected. Collision presets, must have misspelled it. But we're going to go ahead and set this to block pawn. We're going to set this to block pawn, so this would let other objects through it. Well, we can see we can now block by collision, but what if this is an open playfield and we don't want to actually see the object? Well, we can go over here to our details and type hidden. Then we can type or check the actor hidden in the game. And now when we play, we can't see the wall, but it still blocks us like it's supposed to. So essentially, you could surround whatever you're trying to block off, or however you're trying to do it, with these invisible walls, essentially. That is one way to do it. It requires, making a lot of these walls and placing them. Like you'd need 6 for, let's just say this play area, do 4 walls and top and down. And there's nothing wrong with doing that way. You can do it that way. But I think there's a more interesting way, and possibly easier. So what I have down here in my content is a regular cube and then a modified cube that I have cut these shapes into right here. Pretty much exactly like this, but a very large version. And the idea here is you take one object, you put it over the entire arena, and then cut out the center or whatever your design is for your play area using the 3D model tool. So what that would kind of look like, an example of that would be, let's take a cube I already have ready, and it's currently set to not be visible. So here it is. It is just a larger version. And if you're not sure how to do this cutting out and deforming and modeling inside Unreal of let's say like a cube, you can just check out the video I did on it right here. Alright, so now we have our object and we have our centerpiece cut out. So if we turned hidden in game on for this object, which it is, it would work exactly like we would expect. And one other thing we need to do is make sure the collision is using, make sure we block pawns, that is basically characters. So now you can see we would be on the top part of the map. And if we wanted to see a little bit better, make sure it's working, we can type go back to hidden in game. Let's turn that off so we can see what we're doing here. And now we have a bit of an issue. We still are not falling through the middle here. So what we need to do at this point is actually go into our cube object, and we are going to change the collision from project default to complex collision as simple. And if you want to know more about what I'm doing here, check out the video I did on basic collision. Anyways, now if we spawn in, you can see we can actually go through the hole. And if we could jump high enough, we could get up there and get out. So let's go ahead and modify that real quick so we can test it. And now let's say we are outside our level, we can't get in either. So however you want to set up a restricted play area, this is how you would do that. And I think this way is just a little more clever. And it should theoretically be easier running because it's one object to keep track of instead of a whole bunch to draw and keep track of. So there is that. The downsides would be, let's say you wanted different particle effects when they hit different walls or something like that. You could do that if you had multiple objects, and it's a little harder if there's only one. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the video. If you were able to follow this in your own project and learn how to make basically boundaries to your play area, hopefully I have earned your like, comment, or subscription today. Alternatively, we do have a Patreon if that's more your style. Either way, I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good day.